Question 1. From a practical standpoint, Mr. Alvarez is tasked with defining the organizational structure of a newly acquired subsidiary in Oracle HCM Cloud. He needs to ensure that the subsidiary's data can be segregated for reporting while aligning with the parent company. What should Mr. Alvarez do first? A. Create new business unit for the subsidiary. B. Assign employees directly to positions in the parent company. C. Configure security profiles before creating any business units. D. Immediately generate custom reports for the subsidiary. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Creating a new business unit is the first step to logically separate the subsidiary's workforce and operational data. Business units act as the foundational organizational entity, enabling segregation for reporting, security, and HR processes. Assigning employees directly to the parent company bypasses structural clarity. Configuring security profiles prior to unit creation is premature as profiles on defined units, and generating custom reports is secondary as reports rely on established structures. This ensures proper alignment with HCM Cloud best practices for organizational configuration. Question 2. While examining workflow approvals, Chen notices that some employee transfers bypass the configured approval chain. She wants to ensure that every transfer adheres to the company's policy. Which approach best addresses this issue? A. Reconfigure approval rules for the transfer process. B. Delete all existing workflows and create new ones. C. Assign employees to roles without approval workflows. D. Generate ad hoc reports to track transfers manually. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Generating ad hoc reports only helps identify non-compliance but does not enforce process adherence. Reconfiguring approval rules directly aligns with the requirement to ensure policy compliance. Deleting all workflows is disruptive and unnecessary, while assigning roles without approval bypasses governance. Best practice emphasizes configuring structured approval rules that enforce consistent workflows, automated control, and auditability within Oracle HCM Cloud, rather than relying solely on manual tracking. Question 3. Given the circumstances, Mr. Patel needs to bulk load 500 new hires into Oracle HCM Cloud while minimizing errors. Which method ensures efficient and accurate data loading? A. UHCM data loader, HDL with predefined templates. B. Manually enter each worker record in the system. C. Send employee data to managers for manual input. D. Import data directly using standard reports. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Using HDL with predefined templates is the recommended method for bulk data loading, ensuring accuracy, error tracking, and speed. Manual entry by managers is prone to errors, and inconsistency in importing via standard reports is not a data loading mechanism. HDL allows pre-validation, supports multiple object types, and aligns with Oracle best practices for mass updates, reducing the risk of incomplete or misconfigured employee records. This method enhances efficiency, governance, and scalability in workforce setup. Question 4. In an effort to optimize reporting, Nakamura wants to track employee seniority across multiple legal entities within the company. What is the best way to configure this in Oracle HCM Cloud? A. Define seniority dates at the assignment level. B. Configure grades without linking to seniority. C. Use OpBuy to calculate seniority dynamically without setup. D. Assign employees to divisions without seniority consideration. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Calculating seniority using OpBuy enables dynamic reporting across legal entities and provides real-time insights without altering foundational configuration. Defining seniority at the assignment level is static and may not reflect cross-entity continuity. Configuring grades alone does not track time-based progression, and assigning employees to divisions without considering seniority under organizational HR planning. Dynamic reporting aligns with Oracle's recommended approach for analytics-driven decision-making, leveraging real-time workforce data across complex structures. Question 5. When analyzing security requirements, Mr. Thompson notices that certain managers need access only to their departmental data. Which action should he take? A. Configure security profiles for each department. B. Assign all managers the same system-wide role. C. Disable role-based access control for these managers. D. Require managers to submit manual data requests to HR. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Configuring security profiles for each department allows precise data access control, adhering to RBAC principles. Assigning a single system-wide role grants unnecessary access, which violates data segregation policies. Disabling RBAC removes critical security controls, while manual data requests are inefficient and error-prone. Security profiles combined with role assignment enforce least access, ensuring managers can view and manage only the data relevant to their scope, which is a cornerstone of HCM Cloud security best practices. Question 6. According to recent studies, Rivera is designing jobs and positions for a multinational company. She wants to differentiate between generic job roles and specific assignments. What is the correct approach? A. Create jobs for role definitions and positions for specific assignments. B. Assign positions directly without defining jobs. C. Use grades to define both jobs and positions. D. Configure security profiles to replace job structures. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. In Oracle HCM Cloud, jobs define generic roles, responsibilities, and competencies, while positions represent specific instances of these jobs within the organization. Assigning positions without jobs eliminates the ability to standardize and track role requirements. Using grades does not define roles, but manages compensation levels, and security profiles control access, not organizational structure. Proper differentiation ensures accurate reporting, HR compliance, and alignment with best practices for workforce planning, talent management, and organizational consistency. Question 7. To illustrate this point, ISTA-Smith must ensure that employees in different locations have access to only location-specific payroll and HR data. What is the recommended Oracle HCM Cloud approach? A. Implement location-based security profiles. B. Assign all employees the same global profile. C. UHDL to bypass security restrictions. D. Create OPI reports with unrestricted access. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Location-based security profiles provide controlled access to sensitive data, allowing HR to enforce segregation and comply with legal requirements. Assigning a global profile grants unnecessary access. HDL is intended for data loading, not security enforcement, and unrestricted OPI reports could violate privacy regulations. Implementing structured security profiles ensures that employees can only interact with data relevant to their location, providing both compliance and operational clarity. This approach aligns with HCM Cloud best practices for secure and auditable access management. Question 8. Based on the information, Johnson is troubleshooting configuration errors in a recently deployed workflow. Which principle should guide her first step? A. Review functional setup project logs and dependencies. B. Delete and recreate the workflow from scratch. C. Ask employees to bypass the workflow until fixed. D. Modify security roles without analyzing the error. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. The first step in troubleshooting is reviewing configuration logs and dependencies within the Functional Setup Manager to identify misconfigurations or missing setups. Deleting workflows is disruptive and inefficient. Bypassing workflows violates business rules, and changing security roles without analysis can introduce further errors. A systematic review ensures accurate diagnosis, preserves existing configurations, follows Oracle's recommended methodology for resolving implementation issues, reducing downtime and minimizing operational risks. Question 9. During the process of designing talent profiles, Lee wants to capture competencies and skills for each worker to support career development planning. What is the optimal approach? A. Configure worker profiles with competencies and skills. B. Track skills informally through emails. C. Assign jobs without linking to competencies. D. Use grades to define skills for all employees. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Worker profiles in Oracle HCM Cloud allow structured tracking of competencies, skills, certifications, and experiences for each employee, supporting talent management, succession planning, and development initiatives. Informal email tracking is not auditable or scalable Jobs define responsibilities, but not individual skills, and grades relate to compensation, not competencies. Configuring Worker Prof ensures a formal, centralized, and actionable repository for HR analytics and workforce planning, aligning with Oracle HCM Cloud best practices for talent development. Question 10. Throughout the course of a large-scale HCM implementation, Williams is faced with frequent data errors when uploading organizational and worker data. What approach best resolves the issue systematically? A. Validate and correct data using HCM data loader before import. B. Manually edit each record in production. C. Assign random roles to bypass errors. D. Generate reports without correcting the data. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Systematic resolution requires validating and correcting data using HCM data loader HDL prior to importing it, which allows error detection, audit trails, and batch processing. Manual editing in production is inefficient, error-prone, and can introduce inconsistencies. Assigning random roles does not address data integrity, and generating reports without correction leaves data errors unaddressed. Following data loading procedures aligns with Oracle best practices, ensuring high-quality, accurate data while minimizing operational disruption and implementation risk. Question 11. Within the framework of a global workforce expansion, Mr. Garcia needs to configure enterprise structures to support multiple legal entities and business units. Which approach aligns with Oracle HCM Cloud best practices? A. Create separate legal entities first, then assign business units. B. Assign employees directly to business units without legal entities. C. Configure security profiles before defining any legal entities. D. Use grades to define legal entities and business units. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Legal entities serve as the foundational organizational unit for compliance, taxation, and reporting. Assigning business units under defined legal entities ensures organizational clarity and data segregation. Skipping legal entity configuration or assigning employees directly to business units risks compliance issues and reporting inaccuracies. Security profiles are dependent on organizational structures. Grades manage compensation, not organizational alignment. Correct setup guarantees robust workforce governance and adherence to Oracle HCM Cloud implementation principles. Question 12. Considering the evidences, Davis is designing approval workflows for employee promotions. Some managers are in multiple hierarchies and have overlapping authority. What is the best way to configure the system? A. Define hierarchical approval rules reflecting the appropriate reporting structure. B. Assign all promotions to a single manager for simplicity. C. Bypass workflow approvals for managers with multiple roles. D. Create ad hoc manual approval steps out in HCM Cloud. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Hierarchical approval rules must reflect actual reporting structures, ensuring that each promotion request flows to the correct manager. S. Assigning a single manager disregards proper governance, bypassing workflows undermines compliance, and manual approvals are inefficient and untraceable. Proper configuration in Oracle HCM Cloud uses flexible, multi-level approval chains that account for managers' multiple responsibilities, reducing errors, maintaining accountability, and ensuring HR policies are enforced consistently across complex organizational hierarchies. Question 13. As demonstrated by Mr. Thompson, an organization wants to track employee skills and competencies for succession planning. What is the optimal method in HCM Cloud? A. Configure worker profiles with competencies and link to jobs. B. Track skills informally via spreadsheets. C. Use grades to determine employee competencies. D. Assign employees to divisions without profiling skills. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Worker profiles in Oracle HCM Cloud provide a structured, auditable repository for tracking competencies, skills, and certifications, which supports succession planning and career development. Informal tracking is error-prone, non-standardized, and not auditable. Grades relate to compensation levels and cannot represent skills, while assigning employees to divisions does not capture individual capabilities. Competencies to jobs within worker profiles ensures alignment with organizational roles and strategic talent management best practices. Question 14. In light of recent developments, Ising is troubleshooting data loading errors when importing a large set of new hires. Which is the most effective first step? A. Validate the data using HCM data loader templates. B. Edit records directly in production to bypass errors. C. Assign random roles to the records to prevent failures. D. Generate OPI reports to identify errors post-import. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Validating data with HDL templates before loading ensures errors are caught systematically, enabling corrections prior to impacting production. Editing records directly in production is risky and error-prone. Assigning roles does not resolve data integrity issues, and generating OPI reports post-import only identifies errors after they occur rather than preventing them. Following Oracle best practices requires pre-validation, structured templates, and staged data import procedures to maintain data accuracy, compliance, and operational efficiency. Question 15. From multiple perspectives, ISTA O'Connor needs to implement security model where managers can only access data for employees in their departments. What is the correct HCM cloud approach? A. Create department-based security profiles and assign relevant roles. B. Grant managers global HR role for simplicity. C. Disable role-based access control temporarily. D. Use OPI reports with unrestricted access to filter manually. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Creating department-based security profiles ensures managers can view and manage only the data relevant to their department, adhering to RBAC principles. Granting a global role violates least privilege policies and risks unauthorized access. Disabling RBAC removes all safeguards, and using unrestricted reports relies on manual filtering, which is error-prone and non-compliant. Structured role. Security profile configuration in Oracle HCM Cloud guarantees data segregation, accountability, and compliance with privacy and governance requirements. Question 16. Taking into account ISTA Lynn's scenario, the HR team wants to monitor seniority dates for employees across multiple business units for eligibility to benefits. How should this be implemented? A. Define seniority dates at the assignment level and link to business units. B. Track seniority informally through spreadsheets. C. Use grades to manage seniority calculation. D. Assign employees to positions without setting seniority dates. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Defining seniority dates at the assignment level ensures accurate, auditable tracking of eligibility for benefits, promotions, and other HR-related calculations. Informal spreadsheets are error-prone, and grades only manage compensation levels, not time-based measures. Assigning employees to positions without tracking seniority fails to capture service length. Proper configuration in Oracle HCM guarantees that seniority is calculated consistently across multiple business units and assignments, supporting compliance and workforce analytics. Question 17. From a historical standpoint, ISATMA needs to ensure accurate reporting for compliance audits by linking positions to job codes and business units. Which approach best achieves this? A. Create job codes as generic roles and link positions to them under each business unit. B. Assign employees directly to job codes without positions. C. Use grades to define positions instead of jobs. D. Skip job and position mapping and rely on manual tracking. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Job codes represent generic roles and positions as specific instances within organizational units. Linking positions to job codes ensures accurate reporting, workforce planning, and compliance. Assigning employees directly to job codes removes granularity. Using grades cannot represent structural assignments, and manual tracking is inefficient and prone to errors. Structured job and position mapping in Oracle HCM Cloud supports accurate reporting, HR compliance, and facilitates automated workflows for promotions, transfers, and approvals. Question 18. To what degree does ISTA Brown need to configure workflow approvals to prevent unauthorized termination actions by line managers? A. Define role-based approval rules with multi-level authorization. B. Allow all line managers to terminate employees directly. C. Disable approvals for termination workflows. D. Track terminations manually using spreadsheets. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Defining role-based, multi-level approval rules ensures terminations follow governance and compliance policies, preventing unauthorized actions and providing audit trails. Allowing direct terminations bypasses control mechanisms, disabling approvals compromise HR compliance, and manual tracking lacks automation and introduces risks. Oracle HCM Cloud best practices emphasize structured, automated workflows for sensitive actions, combining security, accountability, and auditability to ensure proper adherence to corporate policies and local regulations. Question 19. With respect to Easter Evans integration project, the organization wants to synchronize talent data between HCM Cloud and third-party learning management system. Which method best supports this integration? A. Use Fusion Applications Integration, FI tools for secure automated data exchange. B. Manually export and import CSV files weekly. C. Use OpBuy reports to manually update the LMS. D. Assign roles to third-party users directly in HCM Cloud. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Fusion Applications Integration 5 tools provide structured, secure, and automated methods for exchanging data between HCM Cloud and external systems, ensuring consistency and compliance. Manual CSV imports are error-prone and time-consuming. Using OpBuy reports does not automate synchronization, and assigning roles in HCM Cloud does not enable external system integration. FISUP. Scalable, auditable, and efficient integration aligned with Oracle's recommended practices for multi-system data management. Question 20. How might one explain the importance of Functional Setup Manager (FSM) for Easter Robinson's new HCM project? A. FSM organizes and tracks implementation tasks, dependencies, and configurations. B. FSM replaces the need for security profiles. C. FSM automatically generates payroll without setup. D. FSM is used only for custom report creation. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Functional Setup Manager (FSM) is the central tool in Oracle HCM Cloud for planning, configuring, and managing implementation tasks. It tracks dependencies, ensures correct sequencing, and provides visibility into project completion. FSM does not replace security profiles, generate payroll automatically, or handle custom reporting exclusively. Proper use of FSM is critical for successful HCM Cloud deployment, reducing configuration errors, enforcing standard best practices, and ensuring that all organizational and system settings are correctly applied during the implementation lifecycle. Question 21. Given the circumstances, Martinez is tasked with creating custom reports to analyze workforce diversity across multiple departments. What is the most effective method? A. Use OpBuy to develop custom reports based on business requirements. B. Generate standard reports without customization. C. Export raw data to spreadsheets and analyze manually. D. Configure security profiles to generate automatic reports. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence (OpBuy) allows HR professionals to create tailored real-time reports that meet specific business needs. Standard reports are limited in scope and may not provide the desired insight. Manual spreadsheet analysis is error-prone and inefficient, while security profiles control access, not reporting functionality. Custom OpBuy reports enable comprehensive dynamic analysis of workforce metrics, ensuring accurate, auditable insights aligned with organizational objectives and Oracle best practices for advanced reporting. Question 22. From a practical standpoint, Istijal wants to configure grades and grade rates to support varying compensation across global regions. What approach should he take? A. Define grades globally and set location-specific grade rates. B. Assign positions to grades without configuring rates. C. Use security profiles to manage compensation differences. D. Track compensation manually outside HCM Cloud. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Grades establish compensation bands, and assigning positions to grades without defining rates does not provide accurate pay structures. Security profiles control data access but cannot determine compensation levels. Manual tracking is inefficient and non-compliant. Oracle HCM Cloud best practices recommend defining grades and associating grade rates at relevant organizational levels to standardize pay structures, ensure fairness, and maintain compliance across multiple regions, enabling consistent workforce planning and payroll management. Question 23. In an effort to maintain compliance, ISKUMAR needs to ensure that only authorized personnel can modify employee data. Which approach aligns with HCM Cloud principles? A. Implement role-based access control (RBAC) and assign roles carefully. B. Allow all HR staff full access to employee records. C. Use Hotwire reports to manually track changes. D. Disable security profiles temporarily for efficiency. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. RBAC is fundamental to controlling access to sensitive HR data, ensuring only authorized users can perform specific actions. Allowing unrestricted access violates governance and privacy regulations. Hotwire reports are for analytics and cannot enforce data access rules. Disabling security profiles removes safeguards, increasing risk. Correct RBAC configuration in Oracle HCM Cloud enforces least privilege, maintains auditability, prevents unauthorized changes, and aligns with internal controls and regulatory compliance, protecting employee data integrity. Question 24. As illustrated by Esther O'Neill, company is expanding to multiple countries with different regulatory requirements. What is the best practice for setting up locations and divisions in HCM Cloud? A. Define locations first, then assign divisions to capture local legal and operational requirements. B. Assign employees directly to divisions without location setup. C. Use grades to determine divisions. D. Skip locations and rely on custom reports to segment data. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Defining locations before divisions ensures compliance with country-specific regulations, tax implications, and operational requirements. Directly assigning employees without structured locations creates inconsistencies. Grades manage compensation, not organizational structure. Skipping locations undermines reporting accuracy and operational compliance. Proper setup of locations and divisions in Oracle Cloud provides structured organizational hierarchy, enables legal compliance, and ensures HR processes and reporting are consistent across multiple geographies, following best practices for global workforce management. Question 25. Through the lens of RE and HCM projects, Clark is asked to create jobs and positions for a new department. What is the correct approach? A. Create jobs as generic roles and positions as specific assignments under those jobs. B. Assign positions without defining jobs. C. Use grades to replace jobs and positions. D. Track roles informally through spreadsheets. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Jobs define generic responsibilities, while positions represent specific assignments in the organizational hierarchy. Assigning positions without jobs reduces standardization and makes reporting and compliance difficult. Grades are for compensation management and cannot replace jobs or positions. Informal tracking lacks auditability and scalability. Proper job and position configuration in Oracle HCM ensures workforce clarity, facilitates HR transactions, supports talent management, and allows consistent reporting, which is critical for organizational structure and governance. Question 26. When faced with frequent HDL errors, Walker needs to troubleshoot and prevent data load failures. Which step is most effective? A. Validate data files against HDL templates before importing. B. Assign random roles to bypass errors. C. Edit records directly in production. D. Generate Hotwire reports after import to identify errors. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Validating data using HDL templates before import ensures consistency, detects errors, and allows corrections in a controlled manner. Assigning roles or editing in production does not address underlying data integrity issues and introduces risk. Hotwire reports identify issues after the fact but cannot prevent errors during load. Following Oracle HCM Cloud best practices, pre-validation of data with HDL maintains accuracy, reduces manual intervention, supports governance, and ensures smooth bulk data loading for large-scale workforce implementations. Question 27. Under the assumption that is Ramirez needs to enforce approval workflows for sensitive HR processes like terminations, what is the recommended HCM approach? A. Configure multi-level approval rules reflecting organizational hierarchy. B. Allow managers to approve actions without workflow. C. Disable approval rules for efficiency. D. Track approvals manually using spreadsheets. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Multi-level approval rules enforce compliance and accountability for sensitive HR actions. Allowing managers to act without workflows violates governance. Disabling approvals removes control and increases risk, and manual tracking is inefficient and error-prone. Oracle HCM Cloud Best Practices recommend structured, automated workflows that reflect organizational hierarchy, ensuring auditability, policy adherence, and operational consistency for critical HR transactions like terminations, promotions, and transfers. Question 20. For the purpose of integration, Mr. Evans needs to synchronize employee data between HCM Cloud and payroll systems. Which method is most aligned with Oracle best practices? A. Use Fusion Applications integration tools to automate and secure data transfer. B. Manually export CSV files weekly. C. Track changes through by reports. D. Assign third-party users full access to HCM Cloud. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Fusion Applications Integration 5 provides automated, secure, and auditable data synchronization between HCM Cloud and external systems. Manual CSV exports are inefficient and error-prone. By reporting does not automate data transfer, and granting external users full access introduces significant security risks. Correct integration ensures consistent, accurate workforce data across systems, supports compliance, and aligns with Oracle HCM Cloud best practices for multi-system interoperability and operational efficiency. Question 29. In comparison with traditional methods, Patel wants to streamline the implementation of HCM configurations across modules. What is the best tool to manage this process? A. Functional Setup Manager FSM for tracking tasks, dependencies, and configurations. B. Assign roles without structured project planning. C. Generate standard reports only. D. Configure security profiles without using FSM. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. FSM is the central tool for planning, sequencing, and monitoring HCM configuration tasks, ensuring dependencies are addressed and project milestones are met. Assigning roles or configuring security profiles without FSM lacks project oversight, and generating reports alone does not manage setup tasks. Proper use of FSM aligns with Oracle best practices for structured, controlled, and audit implementation, reducing errors, enforcing standard processes, and ensuring consistent deployment across HCM Cloud modules. Question 30. In an effort to optimize talent management, Mr. Huang needs to integrate worker profiles with competencies and performance goals. Which approach is best? A. Configure worker profiles to include competencies, skills, and link to performance objectives. B. Track skills using spreadsheets. C. Use grades to define performance objectives. D. Assign employees to divisions without profiling competencies. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Worker profiles in HCM Cloud provide a structured, auditable framework for tracking competencies, skills, and linking them to performance objectives. Spreadsheets are inefficient and non-compliant. Grades relate to compensation, not performance, and assigning divisions without competency tracking provides no actionable talent insight. Proper configuration ensures effective performance management, career planning, and aligns with Oracle best practices for holistic talent management, enabling analytics-driven HR decision-making.